I said, yo, this is your boy Marquis Noting here at Griffin Radio, here to give you the news during the quarantine season. Let's go! I said, yo, what's going on, Griffins? How's it going during this quarantine season? What is this, like week 3 of quarantine? Man, we're not in school, but we have these online Zoom classes. So I think it's going okay. I'm wondering what y'all Griffins have been doing since we've been on quarantine, though. Many of us have Zoom classes. A lot of our classes that were not permitted to be online are now online. So I'm just wondering how things are going. I know for me, myself, and I, just been going along pretty good during these Zoom classes. It hasn't been too much going on. My teachers have been doing okay and giving us work with the Zoom classes and making it kind of a little bit more easier on us during this time of worry. So I'm wondering what you Griffins is doing too during this season. So I'm hoping everybody's staying safe out there and just staying home, doing your Zoom classes. For those who have to go to work and risk their lives, I hope you guys are doing okay. So this podcast is for y'all out there. And so thank y'all for the ones that work at grocery stores and stuff like that. At the hospitals, saving lives, and going out, to help the people who really need it. So this podcast is for y'all. So going on, let's go, Griffins. Let's talk about some of the news going on during this season. Let's probably start with, this is week probably 3 of quarantine. So what's been going on? The government has been, thinking about giving us checks. The government, our president has been on TV every day giving us updates of how this quarantine season has come upon us. So let's talk about a little bit of that. During the season, Trump announced that we were going on quarantine, and no matter the politics, you have to understand that these are very serious times, no matter your political party or what you think it is, these are, very extraordinary times. So during these times, I believe they say Trump has had a good 65% presidential rate, with how he's dealing with this, even though most of these things could have been prevented if we would have just stuck with some of the policies that were there at the beginning of the presidency, but we didn't, and it foregoed some of those things that could have prevented this whole catastrophe. So, but that's okay. As we go on, I'm pretty sure that our politics will get better, and the procedures will get better because nobody wants to be out of work during this time. So the government has, permitted that as we were out of work, plenty of people out of work right now are getting laid off or getting time cut hours. The government, our U.S. government, has decided to give us a stimulus check to try to help us out. So our stimulus check will be about $1,200, a one-time check. And I think that is okay. But compared to some of the other countries that are out there that are getting checks too, because this doesn't just affect the United States, this affects the world. I feel like as our government, who's supposed to be the biggest, power in the world, we should get more. If we compare ourselves to other countries and stuff like that, like the UK, they get 80% of worker salary. Denmark, they get 75% of worker salaries. Korea gets 70% of worker salaries. Netherlands get 90% of salaries. Canada gets $2,000 per month. and Australia gets 1K per month. Now, the U.S., the biggest government in the world and with the most power, suggests that we should only get a one-time payment of $1,200. Check that one-time payment of $1,200, and that's all we get. So I guess that's okay if that's what our government, decides. Even though we pay a lot of money in taxes, I think we should get more. But that's okay. We can go on from that. Going through this time of quarantine, the hospitals have been going through it. The hospitals, people who work at hospitals, y'all are saving lives. You guys are being there for your patients, and it's just a crazy time out there during this quarantine season. The average cost to treat a hospitalized patient with coronavirus is about $30,000, according to a study. Doing my personal interactions with people, a lot of it's starting to, get close to homes. It used to be like, somebody who knows somebody who has the coronavirus, but now it's starting hitting close to home where your family members might be getting it. So, like I said, everybody just take care of themselves. It's been a crazy time. And like I said, this goes out to the hospital workers, the grocery store workers who are in there, every day, just giving us their work so we can have lives. If everybody could just stay home, hopefully we can go get over this quarantine season more quickly. So just going on, especially in New York. New York has been getting it hard, especially in the U.S. More percentage of a lot of people in New York are getting or have the coronavirus. So, New York City schools is to remain closed through the rest of the academic year. And so, because the spread, you just don't know who has the coronavirus. So you just have to understand that to stay home is the safest way not to get it. Stay home and be safe. So New York City schools will be closed down. In the streets of, Manhattan and in the square, it just looks like kind of like a desert going on there because there ain't nobody out there in the streets. Roaming around, and, it just looks if you look at pictures, it's look kind of very dead out there. But that means people are listening and being safe. But one particular thing that struck on my mind, and that the numbers have come out, is that the number of people who have been getting the coronavirus, there's been a very disparity between the number of people who have been getting it. According to Twitter, African American people at the beginning of this coronavirus were saying that we couldn't get it. Now that's a false narrative because anybody can get it. So that was very spread false information saying that African American people, black people will not get the coronavirus. That is false because the numbers have come out saying that overwhelmingly about 30 to 40% more African Americans are getting the coronavirus. So to all the black people out there, African American people out there, colored people out there, we especially need to stay home because it's hitting our people very hard. We need to stay home and stay safe because this coronavirus is not joking out here. It's not joking. Kind of going on as far as what we have been doing during the coronavirus, what have y'all been doing? I know me, I just been sitting at home doing Zoom classes, and just pretty much on social media, working on homework, and then doing Netflix, eating, social media, watching IG lives, doing homework, and then more eating. So I wonder what y'all are doing. Like I said, me, Zoom classes, homework, eating, and then just kind of doing whatever. So what's been going on? Like our celebrities have been on IG Live on every day, kind of going with their IG Instagram lives, and that has been a experience with everybody coming together on those forums. I know TikTok has blew up right now with many people doing different challenges on TikTok, which is very interesting. There has been celebrities like DJ D Nice, who has hosted different DJ sets, which a lot of celebrities were in to kind of keep the people, happy, at least during this time. Many people are at home and feeling kind of sad that they can't go out and stuff like that. So, DJs have been kind of became the celebrity in a sense to get the people all together and be there and come together on this one forum so we can all have fun and be together. So shout out to DJ D Nice, an old hip hop head in the hip hop world who does a lot of DJing out there. So shout out to him. And he's doing a lot of great things. So, like I said, going along with, just some of our celebrities and the news that's been going on. A series going on also on Instagram Live. It's called Versus by Swiss Beats and Timbaland. So Swiss Beats and Timbaland decided to host a Versus challenge, which is 20 hits of each artist, and they battle each other in a producer or writer battle. So what they do is they get on Instagram Live and they just go one-on-one against each other in 20 hits, and they play their top hits from the decade, from what they have made. So, for those who don't know of Swiss Beats or the legendary Timbaland, these are the guys who've worked with the Beyoncés, the Jay-Z's, the Aaliyah, rest in peace Aaliyah, baby girl, rest in peace her, Missy Elliott, the top artists in the world. These are the guys who have produced and wrote and produced the beats for these people, the top producers, So shout out to them for starting this IG Live versus because many celebrities have joined in now. And first it was just the Swizz versus Timbaland, and this versus production goes all the way back into like 2007 at Hot 97 Summer Jam, for those who don't know, of Swiss Beats versus Kanye West. This goes all the way back to then, them battling. So this hip hop element of battling has came to the forefront now on IG Live, so which is a great thing. So that is a great thing to the hip hop heads who are out there who are listening. So y'all go check out Versus by Swiss Beats and Timbaland. So the different artists who have also been on Versus that they have orchestrated is other artists like The Dream versus Sean Garrett, which was a writer battle. So for those who don't know, The Dream, the person who wrote Single Ladies by Beyonce was the one who is The Dream. And many people like Sean Garrett, who's also a writer, for those who don't know, wrote so many hits, just hits on top of hits. You got to understand, you have to go look at that catalog to understand. Like I said, these are the people who write for the Beyoncés, the Mary J. Blige's, all the pop groups at the beginning of the 2000s era. These are the people who wrote for these people and produced for these people. You guys have to go check out Versus by Swiss Beats and Timbaland. Two other artists that were on there was Neo versus Jonte Austin. For those who don't know Neo, y'all should know So Sick of Love Songs. Come on, 'cause I'm so sick of love songs. So sad. Come on now, y'all know the song. Y'all know the song. It's been played on almost every radio station ever. So y'all know it. Neo versus Jonte Austin. When I watched the battle, I actually didn't know of Jonte Austin. I didn't know how many hits he had until I actually watched it. And he actually had a lot of hits. It was a very close call on that battle of who won. The Dream versus Sean Garrett battle, obviously, well, not obviously, but if you actually watch the battle, you would understand that the Dream won that battle. Even though Sean Garrett had a huge comeback in the second half, his start off was not that good, so the Dream won that. But between the Neo and versus Jonte Austin battle, you have to understand that this was a gentleman's battle. Jonte Austin, he put out the suit, and they had wine with the wine glasses and champagne, and they were just decided to have a good old time during this quarantine season, playing their 20 hits back to back. Like I said, this was an extraordinary battle, because these are the people who have so many hits. Jonte Austin, like I said, I didn't know of his hits, but once I learned, I was like, this man is a GOAT out here, writing for Aaliyah, Mary J. Blige, and just a lot of different artists out there. He wrote Come Over by Aaliyah. He wrote Missing You by Aaliyah. He wrote a couple Mary J. Blige songs. Like I said, there's just so many hits that he played. These are just the ones I'm coming off the top of my head with. And I'm just like, I had to sit back and understand that if you are in the music game or you're an inspiring artist, or if you're an inspiring producer, inspiring writer, you should look up these people that I'm talking about. These are the GOATs that are in the game who have, has a catalog to show, and they deserve their flowers while they're here. So that's what the Versus production is about, is showing the artists that pretty much sometimes they're not in the spotlight, but they need to get their flowers for, while they're here, get their flowers for everything that they did put in the game. People who have changed the hip hop game. These are the people who, deserve everything that comes to them. So, going on, other artists that was on there was that happened, which was T-Pain versus Lil Jon. Lil Jon, who wrote so many South hits. For those who are from the South, I'm pretty sure y'all heard of Lil Jon. If y'all from the South, then y'all know. Writing for Juvenile and producing for the Yin Yang Twins, and Lil Jon is a GOAT. For those who don't know, he's also a DJ. So he's also a DJ for a lot of people. He's produced hits like Shots. Everybody, come on, if you're in the club, then you know what I'm talking about. Everybody has heard that song during that time of that still rings off in the club. So, like I said, if y'all don't know, then y'all need to know, like I said, versus T-Pain, if y'all don't know I'm Sprung or Bartender, then y'all need to understand that T-Pain is also a GOAT. This was also another tough, close call. When I watched it on IG Live, it was a close battle. So I picked T-Pain to win the battle. But also Lil Jon was, countering with a lot of down south hits and hits that he has. People who may have watched, rewatched it, the battle, are saying that Lil Jon beat T-Pain, but I actually think T-Pain beat Lil Jon. So, these are just things that are happening. On IG Live, people are just having a good time, making up stuff and understanding that just in order to have a good time while we're on this quarantine season, we have to create something. That means the creators are stepping up now and creating, which is a great thing. The next biggest battle, which is coming up, which is two of the greatest writers in in the R&B game, the hip hop game ever, who started genres in this in the music game, are now going to be on Versus. So if you don't know of Babyface and Teddy Riley, then you need to know that they are the real GOATs of the game. Of R&B, hip hop to pop, they have wrote it. Started whole genres like the New Jack Swing era. Like, if you don't know about the New Jack Swing era, then you need to go do your research, because these are the people who have created these genres and who have created so many different hits. It has been enormous how many hits that they have. So that's just some of the things that's been going on. The Babyface versus Teddy Riley battle is Sunday, April 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern. So you guys need to go on IG Live on Sunday, April 18th at 6 p.m. and watch the battle if you are a music head. And I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this right now, you are a music head, because you are here at Griffin Radio and we bring all the hits. So let's go. So going on, what else been going on? Again, IG Live, people have been doing different DJ sets. So there has been a big radio station that has choreographed into IG Live. So an artist named Tory Lanez had decided to pretty much start his own little radio station where he plays music, and that's all different types of music. Mostly, though, he'll play R&B or hip-hop, 2000s music or so, up through the 90s and stuff like that. But he has all been doing quarantine radio, he calls it. He calls it quarantine radio, quarantine radio, quarantine radio. That's what he calls it. So if you don't know about quarantine radio, then you need to look it up too and do your research, because quarantine radio has been going up over the past 3 weeks after that we have been on quarantine. He FaceTimes, well, not FaceTimes, but he IG Lives different celebrities to come in. He has broke the world record for the most people in IG Live, which was held by Taylor Swift, of about 168K people in IG Live. And Tory Lanez has gotten about 330K people on IG Live to listen to his radio station, Quarantine Radio. Now, I'm not going to tell all the antics that go in with Quarantine Radio. All I'm going to say is you should need to look it up, because it has been going crazy out here in the streets in the IG Live game. So like I said, people who are the creators have been stepping up to, try to go past the boredom of what has been going on in the people's lives. So, like I said, this goes out to the creators and the hospital workers and the people who are creating and helping us stay sane while we're here during this quarantine season. I thank y'all for what y'all do, because y'all are making this boredom go by fast. Going on, like I said, what's been going on? Many people have been on Netflix. So Netflix has, released a couple shows, such as, Ozark and Tiger King, and another movie with Mark Wahlberg. If you love these TV series or on Netflix, you can binge watch them. Tiger King, I have not watched yet for personal reasons, but I've been hearing that it has been going crazy out here in these streets. So for those who don't know, y'all should go on Netflix and watch Tiger King. I have seen Ozark, the third season that has come out. It's an amazing season, and I wish they would hurry up and come back with season 4 already. So for those who don't know, those are good Netflix shows to watch: Tiger King and Ozark. I'm the type of Netflix who I'll go back and rewatch other shows that I've already seen. So, but those are two shows that y'all should go out and check out on Netflix, because that's all that's all we've been doing during this quarantine season. So y'all go check those out. Like I said, going on from IG Live and Netflix and stuff like that, our economy has been going kind of crazy. A new record-breaking number of 6.6 million people that have filed for unemployment aid during this coronavirus pandemic. So that's a lot of people out of work and furloughed. And you have to understand that unemployment is it pretty much is our money that we have already paid into through our taxes, but this is not a good thing for the economy. At the beginning of this coronavirus, the stock market had to be stopped. Like, they literally had to stop the stock market. That means there was no trading going on the stock market. So that has been something that's only been done a few times throughout this time. It has only been a few times that this happens. I believe the last one was probably during the 9/11 that they stopped the stock market so the market won't crash. So has to be a great amount of pressure and extraneous times going on for the stock market to stop. Many people are losing their 401ks, and so our economy has been going kind of downhill right now. Many people are saying that we are in a recession and because of what's going on, but I'm glad people are still coming together. And like I said, we are supposed to get a relief check. Businesses are supposed to be helped out too, because many businesses were going out of business or weren't able to, keep the people who were there at their businesses. So, for coronavirus aid relief loans, businesses can get loans. It's called the COVID-19 relief loans. In businesses as of February 15, 2020, less than 500 employees pay employee salaries and payroll tax. Apply at intro.inde.vc/SDA. And you can get a loan there if you are listening and you are a business. Many celebrities have stepped up to help different small businesses keep their employees. So, people like Tyler Perry gave a tip for a total of $21,000 to 42 Atlanta restaurants employees, so they could keep their jobs at their jobs. Different celebrities. There have been more other celebrities to come up. Different people who just did it anonymously, just giving money out so people could, get money that they really need. Our school, Grossmont College, they decided to do a relief fund too. If you have not gotten that email, then you need to go check your emails again. There has been a relief fund for Grossmont students, and if you have not gotten that email, then you need to go back and check your emails because they sent it out. Or go to administration and call, or do whatever you need to do to make sure that if you need it, if you need food, if you need anything, that you can get those relief funds to you. And I'm pretty sure they will help you out there. Like I said, many businesses have been going under. The COVID-19 relief fund should be about $350 billion in government funding available to businesses. So, if you are a business and you need that money, then you need to go check that out. In other news, Bernie Sanders has suspended his presidential race and has decided to endorse Joe Biden for the next presidency. So I guess we'll see how this presidential race goes, because it's coming up in November, and Donald Trump has been on there and he's been doing pretty good job at dealing with this coronavirus stuff, and I guess we would just have to see, how this race goes. So I'm pretty sure with the lineup, it's pretty much going to be between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but we will see how this goes. Going on, Facebook is providing $100 million in grants for small businesses throughout the world. So, like I said, if you are a small business, you can go there and, get aid if you need it. And Apple and Google are collaborating to launch a software to track the spread of the coronavirus. Because we don't know how far this is going to go. We just don't know, because it's just been spreading crazy and you don't know who has it. So people are saying that you can get it at the gas station, you can get it through transfer through money. That's where if you go to the grocery store right now, you can see that many grocery stores are putting up different like plexiglass blockers, so you're not breathing near the employers that you're giving your money to when you're checking out. They're putting plexiglass blockers up to so you not breathing towards them, and to protect yourself. If you do go out and you don't have a mask on, then you guys need to get a mask. If you need gloves, then you need to get gloves, because this stuff is serious and we don't know who has it. Like I said, large gatherings have been shut down for anybody. So if there is no Coachella for live concerts and stuff like that, that has been postponed to other dates. For those who were going to the Rosarita stuff the past spring break, that all has been furloughed because of this coronavirus. So this is no jokes out here. You guys have to stay home and be healthy, because that's the only way we're going to get through this. There's been different reports coming out that this might be the ending of it coming up probably May or June. And then other reports, saying that we might go all the way to August, September. So we just don't know. If we stay home and be safe, then maybe we can get through this all together with less casualties than to be expected. So, like I said, live concerts have shut down. Churches have shut down. If you are a church person, there are many churches who went to online streaming. So if you don't know of a church home, you're pretty sure you can look up church services if you are a church person to go on to live stream for those services. Like I said, it's just been, this quarantine season has just been going very crazy for what's been going on in this quarantine season. Different things, like another celebrity, like the artist P. Diddy. If you don't know about P. Diddy or his many different names, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, just Diddy himself, King Combs, like he goes by so many names that it's kind of crazy. But he also decided to help, healthcare workers and hospitals, he did a dance along. He wants to bring back the spirit of R&B through dance, and of hits through dance. And he was raising money to help hospitals and healthcare workers while they're there. Like I said, hospitals need help. Many in New York have been short-staffed, or they're quitting, or some of them have been getting the coronavirus. So it's a good thing that he did this. He did this past April 12th. which was raising money for hospitals and to fund them. You know, people who got on IG Live again, like Jennifer Lopez, Lizzo, and many different artists, French Montana, who got on IG Live and donated to his cause, which was a dance along. Drake got on there and they did the Tootsie Shuffle together, which is another TikTok viral challenge. Right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Come on now. That's a new Drake hit that just came out. So if you don't know if that hit, you guys can go look that up. It's called the Tootsie Slide. So he also got on IG Live with Diddy and decided to do give funds to help hospitals out because they need it. They're the frontline people. That's the thing. If we don't stay home and we go out and we decide to, maybe we think we caught something, so then we go to the hospital, they don't know what we have. So we might think, oh, we're coming in here for a migraine, and that's taken away from them actually going, actually helping the people who need it for the coronavirus. You know, if we go in there saying that, oh, my child has a stomach ache and they need to just take, you know, a little chill pill and stay at home, then that's taken away from the workers actually being there for the coronavirus patients. You know, so, and there's not enough hospital beds or ventilators and stuff like that. So we have to stay home because our hospitals have been going crazy. And people who work at hospitals are quitting, or they're, you know, are quitting, or they're getting, or they're just not safe. Like I said, some of them have kids and they're having to go home and, you know, be with their kids because there is no school. All the schools are out. So for the people who have kids, they gotta, you know, teach their kids through Zoom classes, or, you know, and it's hard enough to pay attention, I'm pretty sure, for my little nieces and nephews to stay home and watch the Zoom classes, you know, for those who have kids. So it's a crazy time out here. We all need to be safe, you know, so I'm hoping that we can all be together and, you know, stay safe out here, because it has been a crazy time. So if you are a service or a business, please make sure that you are closing, and if you can, and being safe with your employees. If you have not closed down, making sure that they have the right benefits and the right mask and stuff like that going along with you know, with being out there in the coronavirus epidemic. Going along, it has just passed over this March that has been a crazy situation. The 1 year anniversary of Nipsey Hussle's death. If you don't know about Nipsey Hussle, again, you might have to go do your research. The 1 year anniversary of a hip hop legend, in my opinion, you know, who has started something for the hip hop community, and not just the hip hop community, the people in his community, the Crenshaw community in Los Angeles, California. You know, this was a man who started, you know, STEM programs for the kids in his community, and was giving back and was buying, you know, retail property to help, you know, people who were coming out of jail, or, you know, help people who just needed it, you know, people out there in the Crenshaw community in Los Angeles, California, who needed that they get jobs and stuff like that. So it was the 1 year anniversary of his passing. So this 2020 season, this 2019 into 2020 season has just been kind of a crazy one. Going from the 2020 death of Kobe Bryant, you know, that started off our 2020 kind of crazy. Now going into this coronavirus, you know, it's just been a crazy time. there's no basketball going on. That's been kind of crazy. That's been very crazy not to have the basketball season going on. I think the last time I've seen not basketball season going, which was the lockout, which was the players asking the union of the basketball community asking for more money and stuff like that and better working conditions for the basketball players. So that's been kind of crazy. That there is no basketball season, and we'll see how that works because I'm pretty sure, a lot of their salaries have also been cut. For those, I think they're only getting probably some players who negotiated well, they will get their 90% at least their salary. Some players will get 60%, and then some players, they live a check to check. Just like many households, they live check to check. So, that's something to consider, through these working conditions. So it's another crazy position that owners are put into. At the beginning, different owners who own basketball teams, they were paying their staff who worked at the arenas, the vendors and stuff like that. They decided to pay. So, but we don't know how long this coronavirus is going to go until. So I'm pretty sure a lot of more people are going to get laid off. So if you can be a creative and start an online business, then do that. Because this time has been going crazy. So if you are a creative and you know how to start an online business, then please do that. If you don't know, go on YouTube, look it up, whether you're selling t-shirts or whether you're selling masks, because many people have been getting creative in creating masks for the people who need it, because there was a shortage of masks out there. So if you are creative, if you have fabric or whatever, or if you know someone who's creative and you have fabric at your home sitting, give it to them, see what they can do, see if they can create an online business, because this is the time to, create as much money as you can while you can, if you can, during this corona time, because many people are laid off or they don't have a job anymore. Many people like me who have been trying to get a job and who have been trying to hours were cut at my other job and decided maybe I can try to get another job, have not been able to get a job because many employers have not been wanting to even employ, because they don't know what that person would be bringing in when they come into their establishment. Many positions are full at this time anyway. They've started to hire and many positions are full. So, me, myself, and I was looking, and, hopefully I can get a job very soon, even though my hours were cut up my other one. So just going on, like I said, many people have been just sticking together, which is a great thing. The people have been sticking together and being creative during this time. People at their households. Crazy thing, as we've been on, this quarantine time, people of households have been coming together. If your local DJ at your own home apartment, they might start DJing out of their apartment to lift spirits and stuff like that during this quarantine time. Many people who have birthdays during these times, if you don't know, if there's been videos coming out of their friends driving by their homes, honking their horns to say happy birthday or congratulations about different things going on in people's lives. So, that has also been a good thing, that people are coming together. Celebrities like Jay-Z and Rihanna, their big brands are coming together. The Carter Foundation and the Rihanna Claro Lionel Foundation donate and combining $2 million for COVID-19 relief efforts. So that's the great thing, that people are coming together. People are just great out here. Governor Andrew Cuomo, who has been also on TV every day, kind of talking about the New York stuff and the coronavirus, who has been also became a name in the news of late because of his kind of presidential, maybe not presidential, say of words that have been coming out of him, and how he's been just handling things in New York, and understanding that this coronavirus needs help and asking for the government's help and stuff like that. So he has become a figure name, Andrew Cuomo, because of his efforts in trying to get funding for these different aids of the coronavirus. So that's been a name, and now people are saying that he might be a good candidate to run in the 2024 presidential race or something like that. So even though he has denied any potential of running, so so we will see about that, because if he does, that is that's something that's going to create another presidential race against another competitor. If you do live in New York and you need help because the hospitals there are just going crazy right now, there's a section in New York City in Central Park that now has been used for a makeshift hospital because the hospitals were getting overwhelmed with patients and there wasn't enough beds, that they had to make a makeshift hospital in Central Park. So if you are one of those people who need help, then you can go there to Central Park to get help. Going along in San Diego, like I said, we've just been a lot of people in San Diego through LA who kind of didn't understand that the large gatherings were serious. They are now offering $1,000 to businesses. Not to businesses. They're giving $1,000 to people to kind of tell if the business is still open that is non-essential. If you are not an essential employee or an essential business, then you need to close down because you are risking lives by staying open. They are giving $1,000. Pretty much, especially in Los Angeles County, now they decided to give $1,000 to people who tell on businesses that are still open, so they can give you $1,000. Many businesses like the barbershop or the nail shops are non-essential. So many people have been going crazy because as men, we can't go to the barbershop and get our haircuts. As women, they can't go to the nail shop or the salons and get their hair did or their nails done. So many people have been trying to makeshift their own stuff at home. I know girls out there, they're trying to, get their nails right, shave off their nails and stuff like that to try to get it right, fill their nails down because they can't go to the nail salon. They're trying to do their own hair. So it has just been a crazy time for a lot of people, out here. So I'm glad that we are doing okay in this time and we are coming together. Going back to the NBA, Rudy Gilbert and Devin Mitchell, they have been cleared of the coronavirus. If you do not know of these players, they were on the Utah Jazz, and they were they have cleared. They're 14-day coronavirus free. So now they're testing negative for coronavirus. At first they had got it. There was a viral video that came out of Rudy Gilbert touching a whole bunch of different mics as he was at a press conference. As he got up to leave, he touched a whole bunch of different mics, everything in his area playing, saying that he didn't have coronavirus. And then when he got tested, it was positive. And he also was seen touching different employees and different teammates. So then it spread and he gave it to a lot of different people. So like I said, you don't know who has it, so you need to stay home in order to be safe, because it will spread through nasal or by touch or anything, by money. So stay home and be safe. But they have now been cleared of the coronavirus, which is good. So Devin Mitchell and Rudy Gilbert, they have been cleared. So, which is a good thing. Like I said, if you don't have masks, then you need to go get masks. If you don't have gloves, then you need to get gloves when you come out, because that's the safest way to go. That's the safest way to stay safe while we're going through this quarantine time. Like I said, businesses who need loans, they can get loans. If you need anything like food, then you need to look up the places who have food. Many different schools are still giving lunches out, like young for the little kids, because sometimes you don't know what little kids go through in our household. So many schools are still giving out lunches at certain times. So if your kids still need food, then they can go get food. They can go get their lunch, because sometimes that's the only meal that they can get that day. So if you are in that position, please look for the information so your kid can get food. If you need food at food banks or churches, many different churches and food banks are giving out food. If you need it, please look for the information so you can get it. Like I said, I would like to thank you, Griffins, for listening to this podcast, to this quarantine time podcast. As we go on, I'm hoping that everybody will be safe, and I hope that we can come on with another update of this quarantine time, the quarantine season podcast, as we go on. And like I said, I would just like to thank y'all for listening, because this has been a crazy time. And I hope that everybody's staying safe out here and stick together, because the only way we're going to get through this is if we stick together and listen to the government to say to stay home. So I would like to thank y'all, and I would like to tell y'all peace, love, and happiness. I'm hoping that we all stick together. So thank y'all for listening. Y'all have a great quarantine time. Until the next time, this is Marquis Snowden here at Griffin Radio, and I'm signing out. Let's go.